Okay, so we're on a kind of a big digression here. Now look at it between. Remember, we have the G minor shaped half diminished here, so you can look at it. You can look at it as a second minor seventh right here. So here's kind of like what's going on in general. C is the long cage, the long chord. F is the short E chord. C is the long C chord. F is the short E chord. Over here we have an analogy with the root box, which is the E box. Root is the E shape short chord. 5 goes to the long shape C chord. Okay, but also in the same box, we can do the root shape, and then 7 becomes the second minor seventh. Okay, so whatever that second minor seventh is, that's what it is. So in the G box, there's two ways to do that. We can look at the second minor seventh of G. What's the second minor seventh of G? Okay, in caged, we're going to with caged, if we want to say we were on a G minor seventh there. In caged, we're going caged backwards there. Okay, so it's going to go to A minor seventh. Right there is our second minor seventh. Or we look at G, the G cage, and say go up one pentatonic, and we go to once again back to the A there, the second minor seventh. So that works. I'm sure I tripped over that plenty of times in early lessons. But you see, it gave me no problem at this point because you get used to doing these things. So same thing in the A box. The second minor seventh is going to be the C minor. So there it is, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, and then the 4 would be up out of the box there or over here. We can use those string shapes to get those minors. So this is an involved topic. The next lesson will probably be focusing on this because we'll be getting back into the previous chart, which is the string shapes here and how to use them to make these minors. You just make a minor adjustment. So really we have C major triad and then just a C6. Okay, and it's almost like that with the half diminished. We have take a D minor, which is the parent key, and do raise that up one, and that gives you the half diminished. So C major, raise the top up to the 6, it gives you the minor. Okay, it's relative minor. And E minor, which is the parent of the half diminished, you raise the D minor, you raise the top top note up one, and you get the parent again. So that's the only adjustment to know. So we've got that working. We had 2 lessons ago where we talked all about how we're going to change the string shapes to adjust for that. Okay, so minor triads is simply just going to be the same string shapes. All right, with triads, we're going to be having some empty spaces here, but we're going to be hitting the 6 instead of the 5th, and we can use these minor string shapes for any minor. Any minor. It doesn't have to be a particular 6, 2, or 3 minor. It's all 3 minors can be used for the triads there. For the triads, you know. So let's go back to the other chart where we were. Darkness. The darkness. Well, yesterday was Halloween, so the darkness is kind of lingering. So where were we? Just wanted to explain. I know it's, sometimes some theories you have to spend a lot of time talking about anomalies and peculiarities of the theory just to make sure it all fits in, but it'll fit in. And when, so the derivation is long, the playing is easy once you know what you're doing. So with the E, it's root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. And instead of going into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, like that, okay, we go into, with A being the fourth of E there, we cut out on the fourth string, 2, 3, 4. I'm terrible at finding these strings. We cut out from the 3, 4, and we're going to go back into the long pattern. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3. Okay? This one's fingering. That one you have to do a fair amount of fingering to get yourself down from the easy open chords. So this is, now why do we do this? Because hey, this was easy, it's open. Okay? Why do we do this? And then we have in the middle, we have some tough stuff, right? We have 3, 4, and we have 7, root 2. Why do we do that? Because if we're going to play a chord here, we want to be able to do this cross-picking stuff. That doesn't go down to the 7th there. You got to hold that root there. Right? It's the root. And we're on that 3 there. So I brought my pinky up to the 4 there. And up there on the 5, 6. I'm not that good at picking in E. So that's how that works. Remember, the focus of this lesson is to find out how do we play the long patterns and maintain access to the open strings. So the A pattern here, we're going to do a long pattern. I mean, this is it, folks. You have to do this pattern to play these from the fretnut. Maybe we need a little review of patterns at this point. I'm sensing that we need a little review of patterns at this point. Okay, so what we got up here is the long pattern. This is one of my older charts, from one of my older charts. And this is, of course, with the half diminished stuff, but forget about the blue. It's just, look at all the numbers. This is how the long pattern stacks up. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the long patterns are all over the place, and then the short patterns are here. The S2L, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. That's also part of the long pattern. Here's the 5, 6 part, 7, root 2. You know what I'm saying? It kind of repeats itself. So that's the name of that tune. All right, so let's back up a minute. Realize that there's a reason why we're doing what we're doing. There's a reason why I put a fretboard up here. So I'm never going to refer to it, right? I'm going to refer to the fretboard. So once again, the major part of why I made a lesson this morning is because I had gotten the B string wrong. The B string will either be the string shaped fourth of the top or bottom defining pattern string, or else the 5th note of the extra long patterns. And that is because the extra long patterns here, that would be the other chart here. The extra long patterns right here go up in, and they're named A extra long, 5, 6, R extra long, and 4 extra long. So they're named by note. Okay, so you can look at this as just raw notes, raw strings. Hey, string above it's the 4th above it. The 4th of the 5th is the root. The 4th of the root is the 4th. but